Maplewood was the kind of town where time seemed to move slower. The streets were clean and lined with tall maple trees, their leaves turning bright orange and red every autumn. The houses were neat and well cared for, each with a small garden and a cozy porch. People in Maplewood knew each other by name. They smiled when they passed on the sidewalk, waved from their front yards, and helped each other in small ways. Life here was peaceful, and most people liked it that way. In the middle of this calm town lived the Johnson family. Their house was on a quiet street, with a white fence and a swing hanging from an old oak tree. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson had lived here for many years. They were kind and well respected by neighbors. But everyone was especially proud of their daughter, Anna. Anna was 28 years old. She was not loud or showy, but there was something about her that made people notice. She was tall, with dark hair that she usually tied back in a simple ponytail. Her eyes were sharp, always watching, always thinking. People in the neighborhood saw her as quiet and a little mysterious because she did not talk much about herself. Anna had moved back home a few months ago after working in a faraway city. Her parents were happy to have her close again. They hoped she would settle down, maybe find a peaceful life in Maplewood. But Anna had a secret. A very big secret. To the neighbors, Anna was just a woman coming home from work, going for a walk, or helping her parents in the garden. They had no idea that Anna was one of the best tactical commanders in the FBI. She was trained to handle dangerous missions and protect people from threats most people never heard about. Anna's work was secret, and she kept it that way on purpose. Her parents knew some of it but worried about her safety. They never told anyone else in the neighborhood. For Anna, Maplewood was a place to rest, a place where she could be normal, even if just for a little while. Every morning, Anna would wake up early. She liked to run before the sun came up. She would put on her running shoes, step quietly outside, and run along the empty streets. The cool air helped her clear her mind. The rhythm of her footsteps was a kind of peace after days filled with stress and danger. One particular morning was colder than usual. The air was crisp, and a thin layer of frost covered the grass. Anna ran faster than usual, her breath making small clouds in the chilly air. As she turned the corner, she saw the neighborhood coming to life. A few neighbors were opening their doors, children were heading to the bus stop, and a mailman was delivering letters. Anna smiled quietly to herself. This peaceful morning was exactly what she needed. After her run, Anna went home, took a quick shower, and dressed in simple clothes. She wanted to spend the day helping her parents with some small repairs around the house. It was a Sunday, and they planned to have dinner together in the evening. Anna's father, Mr. Johnson, was sitting in his favorite chair, reading the newspaper when she walked into the living room. "Good morning, Anna," he said, folding the paper. "Good morning, Dad," Anna replied, sitting down next to him. "I thought I'd fix the fence today. It needs some paint." Her mother smiled from the kitchen. "That sounds like a good idea. We can't let the fence fall apart." The family talked quietly, enjoying the calm. They didn't know what was coming next. Later that day, a new security company had been hired by the neighborhood's homeowners association. There had been some small break-ins in nearby towns, and the HOA wanted to be careful. The security guards were instructed to watch closely for any strangers or unusual behavior. Anna was outside, painting the white fence when a security car slowly drove by. The driver, a man named Tom, watched her closely. He had never seen her before and didn't recognize her from the neighborhood meetings. To him, she looked like someone who did not belong. Tom had been told to be alert. His job was to keep the neighborhood safe, and he took it seriously. When the car came to a stop and the door opened, Anna looked up, surprised. The man stepped out, his hand near his belt where his gun was holstered. "Excuse me, ma'am," he said. "Can I see some ID? You're not supposed to be here." Anna's calm eyes met his, and for a moment, the world seemed to hold its breath. She knew that if things went wrong, this could turn bad very quickly. But she stayed calm, her voice steady. "I live here," she said simply. Tom didn't look convinced. He asked again, raising his voice slightly, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" Anna stood up, wiping paint from her hands. "I'm Anna Johnson. I live in that house," she said, pointing to the white fence. Tom looked around, unsure. He reached for his radio, ready to call for backup. Anna's heart beat faster, but she didn't panic. She was trained for moments like this. She was trained to stay calm when others were afraid. The neighbors began to notice the confrontation. Children stopped playing, neighbors peeked through windows, and a few people came outside to see what was happening. What no one knew was that Anna was not just a quiet woman living in their neighborhood. She was someone who faced danger every day and was ready for whatever came next even now. The tension in the quiet street grew with every passing second. Anna stood facing the security guard, Tom, her calm expression hiding the quick thoughts running through her mind. She could see his hand twitch near his belt, where his gun was holstered. The neighbors began to gather slowly, curious and worried. Children stopped playing and looked on with wide eyes. Even the birds seemed to quiet down. Anna took a deep breath. She knew she had to handle this carefully. "I told you, I live here," Anna said again, her voice steady but firm. "You don't need to call anyone." Tom was not sure what to believe. He had only been working in this neighborhood for a few days. The HOA had given him strict orders: watch for strangers, report anything unusual, and protect the residents at all costs. He did not know Anna, and to him, she looked like someone unfamiliar. "Please, ma'am," Tom said, his voice shaking. "You need to show me some ID. I can't just let anyone walk around here." Anna nodded slowly. "Of course. I will show you my ID." She reached into her pocket and pulled out her wallet. Tom's eyes widened slightly when he saw the badge inside, a small, official FBI badge. He looked at it, then back at Anna's face, confused and surprised. Anna saw the change in his eyes. This was a moment that could either calm the situation or make it worse. "I'm FBI," she said quietly but clearly. "I'm a tactical commander. You don't need to worry about me." Tom's hand moved slowly away from his belt. He looked at the badge again and then stepped back. I didn't know," he said, his voice softer now. Anna nodded. "I understand. You're just doing your job." The neighbors watching from their windows and doorways began to relax. Some whispered to each other, trying to understand what was happening. One neighbor, Mrs. Williams, an elderly woman who lived across the street, muttered, "She's FBI. I never would have guessed." Tom looked embarrassed. He had wanted to protect the neighborhood, but he had made a mistake. He lowered his voice and said, "I'm sorry if I scared you. I just want to keep everyone safe." Anna smiled gently. "I know. And I appreciate that. But sometimes, fear makes people act too quickly." Tom nodded. "It's hard not to be afraid. There was a burglary just a few miles from here last week. That's why we need to be careful, Anna said. But we also need to trust each other. That's the best way to stay safe. Just then, one of the neighbors, a man named Sam, walked outside with his young son. Is everything okay? He asked, looking between Anna and Tom. Anna explained calmly, there was a small misunderstanding, but it's all fine now. Sam smiled and nodded. Good. We need to stick together. The tension on the street slowly melted away. Tom got back into his security car and drove away, still thinking about what had happened. Anna returned to painting the fence, but her mind was busy. She thought about how quickly things could have turned dangerous. One wrong move, one wrong word, and the situation might have ended badly. She felt grateful that she had stayed calm and used her training to handle the moment. But she also felt sad. Sad that fear sometimes made people see others as threats instead of neighbors. Later that afternoon, Anna sat with her parents in the living room. The sunlight shone through the windows, casting warm light on the wooden floor. Her father shook his head. Tom didn't know you were FBI. I guess it's hard to tell. Anna smiled softly. That's why I keep it quiet. It's safer for everyone. Her mother looked worried. But maybe now people will be scared of you. No, Anna said firmly. I want them to know I'm here to protect them, not to scare them. The Johnson family talked about what had happened and how the neighborhood might react. They hoped this incident would lead to better understanding, not fear. That evening, as the sun set behind the trees, Anna took a walk around the neighborhood. She waved to the neighbors she saw and smiled warmly. People smiled back, some stopping to say hello. One neighbor, Mrs. Green, approached her carefully. I'm sorry about what happened today, she said softly. I didn't know you were someone so important. Anna laughed quietly. I'm just a person like anyone else. Mrs. Green nodded. Still, it's good to have you here. Anna felt a small warmth in her chest. Maybe this peaceful town could be her home after all. But deep inside, she knew her life was never simple. There would always be dangers she had to face, secrets she had to keep. She was a protector by nature, and that was not something that could change. As she walked back to her house, the stars began to twinkle in the night sky. The quiet neighborhood of Maplewood seemed safe again for now. But Anna was ready. Ready for whatever came next. The next morning in Maplewood began like any other. The sun rose slowly, filling the sky with soft pink and orange colors. Birds sang their morning songs, and the gentle wind rustled the leaves of the maple trees. Anna sat at the kitchen table, sipping her coffee and thinking about the previous day's events. Though the tension had eased, Anna knew that the misunderstanding with the security guard was not over. Word traveled quickly in small towns like Maplewood, and she had already heard whispers among the neighbors. Some were curious, some were worried, and a few were suspicious. After all, very few people here knew about Anna's real job, and that made her story even more surprising. Anna's father, Mr. Johnson, came into the kitchen. Anna, people are talking, he said quietly. Some think you're dangerous. Others say you must be a hero. It's hard for everyone to understand. Anna nodded. I know. It's hard to be both. I want to protect this neighborhood, but I also want to be part of it. Her mother brought a plate of fresh cookies and smiled warmly. You have always been strong, Anna. But sometimes strength can make people afraid. Anna smiled softly, thankful for her parents' support. Maybe it's time I tell them the truth. Later that day, a neighborhood meeting was called by the homeowners association. The members wanted to discuss the recent events, the break-ins nearby, the security patrol's actions, and, of course, the confrontation with Anna. The community center was filled with neighbors old and young, families with children, and even Tom, the security guard. Everyone was eager to hear what would happen next. Anna stood at the front of the room. She felt the eyes of the crowd on her, some curious, some doubtful. Taking a deep breath, she began to speak. "I want to thank everyone for coming today," she said clearly. "I know there has been some fear and confusion about what happened. I want to explain who I am and why I live here." She paused and looked around the room. "I work for the FBI as a tactical commander. That means I lead teams in dangerous situations to protect people and catch criminals. I've kept this secret to keep my family and this neighborhood safe." There was silence in the room. Some neighbors exchanged surprised glances. The children looked up at their parents, wide-eyed. "I understand that this might be hard to believe," Anna continued. "But I'm not here to scare anyone. I'm here to help protect this community." Tom, the security guard, stood up. "I want to apologize for what happened. I didn't know who Anna was, and I acted out of fear. I hope we can work together to keep Maplewood safe." A woman in the crowd, Mrs. Lopez, spoke next. "Thank you, Anna, for telling us the truth. I'm sorry for judging you. It's hard sometimes to know who to trust." The meeting continued with neighbors asking questions, and Anna answering patiently. She explained how fear can make people see threats where there are none. She shared some tips about staying safe and working together. By the end of the meeting, the mood in the room had changed. What had started as fear was slowly turning into understanding and respect. After the meeting, Anna walked outside. The sun was setting, and the sky was painted with beautiful colors. She saw some neighbors talking in small groups, smiling and laughing. For the first time in a while, Anna felt hopeful. That night, as Anna prepared for bed, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Tom. "Thanks for everything today. I'm sorry for the scare. Let me know if I can help with anything." Anna smiled and replied, "Thank you, Tom. We'll work together." Though the neighborhood was peaceful again, Anna knew her life was far from ordinary. She would always have to balance the secrets of her work with the simple life she wanted in Maplewood. But now, she was not alone. Days passed in Maplewood, and the neighborhood began to feel more comfortable around Anna. The meeting had helped clear many doubts, and people were starting to see her in a new light, not just as a quiet woman, but as someone who could protect and lead when needed. But even with this new understanding, Anna kept parts of her life hidden. She knew that not everyone could understand the true nature of her job. It was a world full of danger, secrets, and responsibilities that went beyond the peaceful streets of Maplewood. Anna's parents often worried about her. They saw the tiredness in her eyes when she came home after long days and nights. They saw how she sometimes stared into space, as if remembering something hard. But Anna rarely talked about her work. She wanted to protect them from the heavy truths. One evening, after dinner, Anna sat with her father on the porch. The cool night air was filled with the sounds of crickets and soft rustling leaves. "Anna," her father said quietly, "I want to understand more. You have kept this part of your life away from us. But I worry. Your work sounds dangerous." Anna looked at her father, her eyes soft but serious. "It is dangerous, Dad. But it's who I am. I protect people from harm. Sometimes that means being away for long hours, sometimes even days. I have to keep secrets, not just for my safety, but for others too. Her mother joined them, wrapping a shawl around her shoulders. You carry a heavy burden. But remember, you don't have to carry it alone. We are here for you. Anna smiled, feeling the warmth of their support. I know. And I'm grateful. Though her family was close, Anna's real work was something they only saw a small part of. At the FBI, Anna was a leader. She trained her team, planned missions, and made decisions that could save lives. Her job required strength, quick thinking, and calm under pressure. But it also meant facing threats and dangers most people never imagined. One day at work, Anna's team received information about a possible threat near her hometown. The news was quiet, but Anna's instincts told her to take it seriously. She knew she had to balance her job and her family carefully. Back in Maplewood, life went on. Children played in the streets, neighbors chatted over fences, and the seasons changed as usual. But Anna was always alert, ready to respond if needed. Sometimes, after a long mission, Anna would come home late at night. She would sit quietly in her room, thinking about the people she was trying to protect. The weight of her job was heavy, but she carried it with pride. Her neighbors began to notice the small ways Anna helped the community. She organized safety workshops, teaching families how to protect themselves. She volunteered to help repair the playground and joined neighborhood watch meetings. Slowly, she became a trusted figure in Maplewood not just for her strength, but for her kindness. Yet, no matter how much she gave, Anna always kept a part of herself hidden. The world she lived in was full of shadows, secrets she could never share. One afternoon, as Anna walked home from the grocery store, she noticed a car slowly driving by her house. The windows were tinted, and the driver watched carefully. Anna's heart quickened. She knew how to stay calm, but inside, she was alert. She took a deep breath and walked into her home. For the first time in a while, she felt the weight of her secret life pressing down on her. That evening, Anna talked with her parents. There might be danger nearby, she said softly. I have to stay ready. Her mother reached for her hand. We believe in you, Anna. But promise us you will be careful. I will, Anna replied. Even though the neighborhood seemed peaceful, Anna knew that her work was never done. She was a protector in a quiet town, living a double life that few could understand. And she was ready for whatever came next. After Anna's open meeting and her quiet acts of kindness, the neighborhood of Maplewood started to change. People no longer saw her as a mysterious stranger or a threat. Instead, they began to see her as a protector, someone they could trust. Still, some fears lingered. The recent break-ins nearby had made everyone nervous, and the security guard's mistake had added to the worries. The Homeowners Association, HOA, decided it was time to do something more to bring the community closer and help heal the fear that had grown. One sunny afternoon, the HOA arranged a gathering at the local community hall. The room was decorated with colorful balloons and banners that read, Maplewood United and Safety Together. Tables were set up with snacks and drinks, and neighbors started arriving, curious and hopeful. Anna came early to help set up. She greeted people warmly, shaking hands and smiling. She wanted to show everyone that she was not just a law enforcement officer but a neighbor who cared. As more people arrived, the room filled with chatter and laughter. Families brought their children, and old friends reunited. It felt like a small celebration, a step toward healing. At the front of the room, the HOA president, Mr. Clark, took the microphone. "Thank you all for coming today," he said. "We've been through a lot lately, and it's important we come together as a community. Fear can make us see the worst in each other, but trust and understanding will help us move forward." Anna stepped forward next. "I want to say thank you to everyone who attended the meeting last week and to those who joined us today," she said. "I know it hasn't been easy for anyone, but I believe we can make Maplewood safer by working together." She paused, looking around the room. "Safety is not just about guards or cameras. It's about people watching out for each other. It's about trust." Anna shared stories of her work, not the dangerous missions, but the lessons she had learned about teamwork and communication. "When we work together, we are stronger," she said. "And when we listen to each other, we can avoid misunderstandings." After her speech, Anna invited everyone to join her for a workshop on neighborhood safety. She taught simple ways to protect homes, how to stay alert without feeling afraid, and how to communicate with security personnel. People listened closely, asking questions and sharing their own experiences. The room buzzed with positive energy. Tom, the security guard, stood near the back. He looked more relaxed than before. After the workshop, he approached Anna. "Thank you for helping me understand," he said quietly. "I want to do better." Anna smiled. "That's all I ask. We all make mistakes. What matters is that we learn from them." As the gathering continued, neighbors began to open up to one another. Old fears were replaced by conversations and new friendships. Children played together, and adults shared stories over cups of coffee. Mrs. Green, the neighbor who had apologized earlier, came up to Anna. "You've done a lot for us," she said. "Thank you for being here." Anna felt warmth spread through her chest. This was what she wanted: a community that cared, that trusted, and that looked out for each other. In the days that followed, the neighborhood watch group became stronger. Anna helped organize patrol schedules and created a phone tree so everyone could quickly share important information. The HOA worked with the security company to improve training, focusing on communication and respect. Maplewood was becoming more than just a quiet town, it was becoming a family. One afternoon, as Anna helped paint the community playground, she noticed children laughing and running freely. Parents watched nearby, smiling and talking. Anna's phone buzzed. It was a message from her team at the FBI. There was no new threat nearby, but they wanted her to stay alert. She looked around at the peaceful scene, the families, the trees, the bright sky, and felt a deep sense of hope. The neighborhood was healing, but she knew the world outside Maplewood was still full of challenges. That night, Anna sat on the porch with her parents. The stars shone brightly above, and a cool breeze rustled the leaves. "I think the neighborhood is ready," Anna said softly. "Ready to be strong, together." Her mother nodded. "And so are you." Anna smiled, feeling the quiet strength of her family and her community. Whatever came next, she knew she would face it not alone, but with the people who believed in her. Though life in Maplewood had grown peaceful, Anna could never forget the shadows that still lingered in her mind. Her work with the FBI meant facing danger often, and some memories stayed with her, quiet but heavy. One morning, as Anna walked through the neighborhood park, she noticed a small group of teenagers sitting on the benches. They were laughing loudly, but something about their energy made Anna pause. She had learned to trust her instincts over the years. Just then, her phone buzzed. It was a message from her FBI contact. "Anna, we've received information about suspicious activity near Maplewood. It could be connected to the recent break-ins in the area. Stay alert. Anna's heart tightened. The peaceful days might be ending sooner than she hoped. She thanked the teenagers politely and walked away, her mind already planning what to do next. At home, Anna studied the details her team had sent. There were reports of a small group moving through nearby towns, possibly looking for something or someone. The FBI wanted her to investigate quietly, to protect her neighbors without causing panic. That night, as the stars twinkled outside, Anna made a call to Tom, the security guard. "Tom, I need your help," she said. "There might be trouble coming, and we need to be ready." Tom sounded nervous but eager to help. "I'm ready, Anna. What do you want me to do?" Anna explained a simple plan: extra patrols, watching for anything unusual, and keeping neighbors informed without causing fear. The next few days were tense. Anna worked with her FBI team during the day and helped organize neighborhood patrols in the evening. Maplewood's peaceful streets now felt different, full of quiet watchfulness. One evening, while Anna was walking her dog, she noticed a car parked near an empty house on the corner. The windows were dark, and the engine was off. Something didn't feel right. Anna moved closer, careful to stay in the shadows. She saw two figures inside the car, whispering and watching the street. Her training took over. She took out her phone and sent a quick message to Tom and the local police. Minutes later, headlights flashed nearby. The car started quickly and drove away before officers could reach it. Anna sighed, feeling the weight of the unseen dangers around her. The next day, the neighborhood was buzzing with questions. Rumors spread, and some neighbors grew scared again. Anna called a meeting at the community center. "We need to stay calm," she said firmly. "Fear helps no one. We will watch carefully, but we will not let fear control us." She taught the group how to recognize real threats and how to protect themselves without panic. The neighbors listened, trusting her guidance. Days later, Anna received a call from the FBI headquarters. They wanted her to lead a small team to investigate the group causing trouble near Maplewood. This was the moment Anna had trained for. She packed her gear, said goodbye to her parents, and promised to stay safe. Before she left, she walked through the neighborhood one last time. Children played in the park, neighbors smiled and waved. This was what she was protecting, a simple, peaceful life that so many took for granted. As Anna drove away, the sun rising behind her, she felt a mix of sadness and determination. The shadows of the past had returned, but she was ready to face them. Because protecting her home was more than a job, it was her purpose. Anna's team arrived quietly in the nearby town just before dawn. The morning air was cool and still, but beneath the calm surface was tension, a danger that waited like a hidden storm. As the team prepared, Anna felt the familiar rush of focus and calm that came with her work. She was not just fighting for strangers, but for the people she loved back in Maplewood. Their mission was clear: find the group causing trouble near her neighborhood and stop them before anyone got hurt. The investigation took days. Anna's team moved carefully, watching, listening, and gathering information. They worked with local police, sharing what they learned and planning every step. Anna thought about Maplewood often during those nights. She imagined the peaceful streets, the children playing, the neighbors smiling. That was what she was fighting to protect. One evening, the team received a breakthrough. The group had a hidden meeting place in an abandoned warehouse not far from Maplewood. Anna led her team there, moving silently under the cover of darkness. They surrounded the building, ready to act. With a signal from Anna, the team moved in swiftly but carefully. The group inside was surprised and quickly surrendered. No one was hurt, and the threat was over. Back in Maplewood, Anna returned to a warm welcome. Neighbors gathered to thank her, relieved and grateful. Mr. Clark, the HOA president, shook her hand firmly. "You saved our neighborhood. We're lucky to have you." Anna smiled, feeling the tiredness in her bones but also pride. Over the next days, life in Maplewood returned to normal. The neighborhood watch grew stronger, the patrols continued, but now with confidence, not fear. Anna spent more time with her family and neighbors, sharing laughter and stories. She helped organize community events and worked to make Maplewood a place where everyone felt safe. One afternoon, as she sat on her porch with her parents, Anna looked around at the peaceful street. "This is what I fight for," she said softly. "A place where people can live without fear." Her father nodded. "You are a protector, Anna, in more ways than one." Anna smiled, knowing her life was not simple, but it was full of meaning. The security guard, Tom, stopped by one day with his family. He thanked Anna again for her help and support. "We're a team now," he said. "I'm proud to work alongside you." Anna felt hope for the future. She knew challenges would come, but she was ready to face them with courage, kindness, and the strength of her community behind her. As the sun set over Maplewood, Anna stood outside, looking at the stars beginning to shine in the darkening sky. She was home. And she was at peace.